friends, welcome to the Lori Lulu Crochet Podcast, episode 6. My name is Lori. I live in the Chicago suburbs with my husband Ryan and our 2 cats, Dixie and Daisy. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Lori Lulu 327, or if you have any questions or just want to chat, my email address is lorilulu327@gmail.com. And I just want to say welcome to any new viewers. And if you've watched before, hello again. Yeah, if you just want to hit the subscribe button, or if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. All that admin stuff. Yep, we'll get that out of the way. So if you just want to grab your project and something to drink, coffee, tea, water, Diet Coke, nectar of the gods. Right, Mom? I have a lot to talk about today. So, that being said, I just want to say Happy St. Patrick's Day a day early, because actually today is Saturday, March 16th, but St. Patrick's Day is the day of my people. When my dad did our genealogy a few years ago, I did the math, and now correct me if I'm wrong, Dad, but I think I'm about 3/8 Irish. I'm more Irish than anything else. So, St. Patrick's Day is my day. And a few years ago, I was going through my wardrobe and realized I didn't have anything green, which, that's a tragedy. So, as you can see, I've rectified that situation. I'll just start with what I'm wearing, because obviously I love to crochet, and I made something green for me to wear on St. Patrick's Day. So, this is my Chicago Comfort Shawl. The pattern is actually called just the Comfort Shawl, and you can find it on Yarnspirations. I'll put a link down below. All patterns and podcasts and yarns that I talk about, links will be down in the description box down below. But yeah, already I'm having trouble with words. This doesn't bode well. Okay, so the Comfort Shawl is supposed to be made with Aran weight yarn. So it's supposed to be nice and big and something that you can just wrap up and be cozy and comfy and just have all this comfort. I made mine with fingering weight, so it's not quite as big. The navy, which, yeah. The navy is my go-to yarn if I'm doing an indie dyed yarn and I need something to go with it. I always go for the Valley Yarns Huntington, and it's in their navy colorway. The other color, let me show you. This lovely color. I just love this. So this yarn is Destination Yarns. I got it at Stitches Midwest 2 years ago. Destination Yarns, all her colorways are named after places that she's been to. And then when she goes to a yarn festival or yarn convention or whatever, she always does an exclusive colorway for that city. So, Stitches Midwest, Chicago, hence we have Millennium Park is the name of this color. I love this. What was I going to say? Oh, Millennium Park is a park in downtown Chicago. It's known for, it has a skating rink, it has like an amphitheater kind of thing, but everybody knows it for the Cloud Gate sculpture, which, that's the official name, but everybody knows it as the bean. It's this big silvery bean that everybody takes their pictures in front of. I'll put some pictures at the end of Ryan and I at the bean in Millennium Park. I should actually wear this shawl up there sometime and wear my Millennium Park shawl at Millennium Park. Anyway, so it's a free pattern. It's a bunch of doubles and trebles and chains to get that nice lacy look. And then I like how I decided, you know, I really want the lace to stand out too. So just having a solid color makes that really work. So, that being said, St. Patrick's Day. I'm so excited. Actually, like, I don't really celebrate like normal people do. I don't drink, so anyway. But I still like, you know, just the spirit of the whole thing. Also, with that, yesterday, I went and checked the mail, and I saw I had a card from Carla in Oklahoma, and I was trying to rack my brain. Who is Carla from Oklahoma? And then it hit me. Oh yeah, Crochet CJ. She has a podcast. I'll put a link down below. But she's got a really good podcast. She sent me a St. Patrick's Day card. And my husband can attest to this. When I opened it up, I literally doubled over laughing because the front of it says, "They're always after my lucky yarns." Oh, that cracked me up. Oh, I loved it. And then there was a sweet note inside. And then, oh, I should have gotten these out. Okay, she sent me some stitch markers. So I have this lovely 4-leaf clover, and then a Celtic knot. So yeah, these will be going on my projects right away, because an Irish girl has to have Irish stuff on her projects, right? And I got thinking, you know, they have all these really cool Irish crochet stuff, Irish Celtic knot stuff. Maybe I should make a sweater for next year. Yeah. Anyway, so again, today is not really St. Patrick's Day, and I probably won't wear this tomorrow. I'll wear something else, but I've got enough green for it. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is today is actually the 16th, and it's a very important day for my husband and I, because 16 years ago today, he proposed and gave me this ring. Ta-da! So anyway, I will tell you that story someday, not today. There's a lot of stuff we got to get through. And speaking of my husband, I have some news. For those of you who are new, my husband is a pastor, but he has to be a bivocational pastor because it's a small church. They're very generous and they take very good care of us, but we need the extra income because life, right? And his other job that he'd had for 15 years just was gone. The hospital that owned the clinic that he worked at sold the clinic. Anyway, so last Friday he had an interview and it went well. And then they called him up and said, "Can you take an assessment test?" And it was basically like a personality test and like a problem-solving test, like that's timed and all that. And then they called him after that and offered him the job. So he goes in on Monday, or not Monday, Wednesday. Oh, this podcast is not going to be good. Anyway, so he's going in on Wednesday to fill in all the human resource paperwork, all that fun stuff. So, that's good. That's exciting. So yeah, that's it. As far as jobs for me, for those of you who are new, I am an office manager at a CPA firm, and we are treading water as fast as we can. During tax season, it's getting crazy. Like yesterday, so many people kept calling who had already filed, and they had extra questions, and we need to talk to him right away. It's like, I can't, he's with the client right now. He's busy. He'll call you when he, and then like 2 hours later, they're calling again. I haven't heard back. He's busy. Would you want him to interrupt your appointment? No. Calm down. He will get to you. Anyway. Yeah, these new tax laws have everybody freaking out. It's like, he knows. He understands. He went and took classes. Just trust him, okay? But anyway, there's 24 days left of tax season. Whew. Less than a month to go. Thank goodness. And I'll tell you what, these last 2 weeks, the only thing that's been keeping me going, I've had this song playing in my head. And it's by Daigle. It's called Look Up Child. It's amazing. I'll put a link down below. I just love this song. Like, it's been playing in a loop over and over in my head for the last 2 weeks. And basically I feel like God's just saying, you know what? Just keep your eyes on me. Look up, child. I got this. Okay, God. One day at a time. That's all I can do, right? And just keep my focus on Him. That's what needs to happen. Okay. So that's end of life stuff. I'm going to pause the video so my video just won't just stop at random spots. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to have to do this in segments because my camera. So, okay, in the last 2 weeks, I feel like it's been longer than 2 weeks, but yeah, I don't have much to show you in the way of crochet, just because things have just been crazy at work, as I said. But I do have one finished object. At first I didn't think I was going to have any, and then I went through my Ravelry projects page, and oh yeah, I didn't talk about this one. This is my painted moss cowl. Ta-da! Here's the back side. You can see where I seamed it up. So for this, true Lori fashion, I didn't really follow the pattern. What happened, like, the first one that I made, of course, I didn't do the way Sam from the Samsqueak podcast, it's her pattern. I didn't do it the way she wanted the first time, and it was just too tight on me. So I decided, well, I'll go up a hook size and see if that helps. Well, that did help, but I was going to run out of yarn a lot sooner than I should. So I went and bought another skein. So this is actually 3 skeins of the Karen Pantone. It's the Bright Orchid colorway. And so, since I had 3, I could actually make it a little bigger. So I added 4 extra rows of each color. And let me tell you about these colors. Oh my goodness. I just love this so much. It makes me think spring. Like, as you can see, we have lots of sun right now. Well, with the time change, we have definitely a lot more sun later in the day, which is nice. Don't get me wrong. But the time change, ugh, I hate that. But we actually had 60-degree weather this week. But with that came horrible winds and tornadoes and all that. But thinking spring still. Ta-da! I really like, so because I added the extra 4 rows, that added about 5 more inches to the cowl, which I needed because after doing the cottage faded linen cowl, is that how it goes? It was too tight and I just feel like I'm suffocating. So claustrophobia, that's me. Anyway, so I really like how this is a lot bigger and roomier. And after being washed, it drapes really nicely. And it's got green, so I might wear this tomorrow. I think so. Anyway, so finished work, finished object. Blah, 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 blah. Again, I'm still having trouble with words. Oh, yeah, so I'll show you the colors again. Pink, and lavender, and this lovely blue, green, and then black. And that's how I ended it too. Yeah, but this is the back side. Nobody will really see it. It's all scrunched together. Right? Right. Alright, back with my Chicago Comfort. Okay, so I did some work. I do have some makes in progress, and I've had some progress on several of them. I have 3. Oh, my hair okay now? So the next one I'm going to talk about, make some progress. I have the Lazy Waves Shawlette. I can't remember who designed this. Oh, Dedri. I'll put all the information down below. Anyway, it's a really cute pattern. I really, really like it. I think it would be better if I had a more solid or an ombre type yarn instead of the variegated yarn that I have. I was really hoping to have it done for you this time, but no. The yarn that I'm using is the Koigu yarns Painter's Palette. It's this here. And I really thought I'd be done with this, but as you can see, it's getting pretty low. I'm afraid I'm going to run out. So I'm going to have to add another color to it. But here I am. It's a long shawl. There we go. Can't even fit it all on the screen. Here we go. So there's the end. And am I showing you the right side? No, I'm not. You can see the back loop work really creates the waves, which it still looks nice in this yarn. It's just, I think it would look better with more solid. So speaking of solid, this is the yarn I have in stash. It's, surprise, surprise, Valley Yarns Huntington, and I think the color is mustard. I asked the ladies at Love Knots if they thought this went together. I guess I'm kind of asking you guys what you think too. I don't know. I just don't know. Mostly because I really don't like this color. But if I put it together, it would definitely be a shawl that I will give away. Probably to my mother, as I see this here. So, surprise, Mom! You're getting another shawl. So, yeah. I think it's because the colors aren't my colors. I think that's why I don't want to work on it. But I keep making myself. So, I'm going to have to rip out, go back, so I can figure out a striping system. Make sure I get maximum usage out of this. And if you heard the weird clicks, that's because it's living in my Star Trek bag, which I got from Kitchen Counter Crafters. And they have their bags are used with these snaps. Remember those slap bracelets we used to wear all the time in elementary school? That's kind of what's in here. So, anyway. Lazy Waves Shawlette. Making progress, number one. Actually, it's a work in progress because it feels like work to me right now. Anyway, so the next one, you saw some of it last week. It is my Puppy Love Shawl by Caleisha from the Quirky Monday Craft Cast. I'm calling it my Kitty Love Shawl because I don't have puppies, I have cats. So, last time, I only had a little bit of this triangle. I had just started it. Actually, you can see my stitch marker here, which is, I got it Stitches Midwest. It's a sheeple eating Chicago deep dish pizza, which that sounds really good right now. So, this one. I started off with the right hook, the right stuff, you know, and I just keep looking at it. It's like, I just don't think it's going to be big enough. Like, I want it to be, keep looking at myself and like, oh, my hair, my shawl. Anyway, so Kitty Love Shawl. This podcast is just gonna be crazy. Anyway. So I keep looking at it. It's just not gonna be big enough. It's just, ugh, you know? And I ended it where I did because there was a knot in the yarn. So I was like, well, I'll just stop here and I will save this to show my lovely viewers. But then I just started over with a whole new, with a different hook size. I went up to a, so you're supposed to use a 5-point or an H hook, 5-point millimeter hook or an H hook. I went up to a J, which is a 6.0 millimeter hook, and I think I like it better. You know, if it ends up too much bigger, I really don't care. I just want it to be nice and big and comfy, like the comfort shawl is supposed to be. So anyway, so here's what I've gotten so far. I've actually gotten to the brioche, oh goodness, brioche section. Ta-da! So I have this side, and I have this side. I have about 6 more rows of the brioche to go. Although I keep looking at this, it's like, I don't know if this is right. Caleisha, is this right? Yeah. Like I went and looked at the hashtag and like on Instagram, and I was looking at everybody's pictures, and I think it's gonna be okay. I think it is. If not, this shawl will probably just stay at home on the couch for me to wrap up in while I watch my Hallmark movies, right? So, yes, my kitty love shawl. I chose, my cats are they both have white. Dixie is black and white, and Daisy is gray and white. So, I started with the white, and then we have Dixie here, and now I'm adding Daisy. So, yeah. And this will probably end up covered in their cat fur, because everything in this house has cat hair everywhere. Anyway. So, the next work in progress is new. One of the ladies that I met at Llama Llama, which is my local yarn store, Llama Llama Ding Dong. We have a knit night, Fiber and Friends night every Friday. And one of the ladies, Leticia. Hi, Leticia. She made this Second Avenue shawl, I think is the name of it. But it had a whole bunch of different yarns in it, and at the end she had the Malabrigo Cello, which is the yarn that I bought from Llama Llama a while ago. It's like, once I saw it, it's like, oh, I have to start working with mine. I have to. So, this is my new pattern that I'm working on. Let me grab it here. It is living in my llama tote, which says Llamalicious. And I decided to put all my buttons on my bag. Saw Debbie from Canadian Crocheter and Allie from Little Drops of Wonderful. They have like certain bags that they are blank, and they just put all their pins on there. So that's what I did too. So I have a knitting unicorn. I have my crochet Luna ones. Oh, my zebra's kind of, this one I found at Target, my zebra. I have a llama from Slip Stitch Studios, and then I have these lovely llama ones from Caleisha from the Quirky Monday Craft Cast. And so I'm doing a set of shawls. Again, these words. Anyway, so set of shawls by women that inspire me. And so I did the Persuasion Shawl, which is Jane Austen. This next one is inspired by Marie Curie. And that's only because the colorway, the colorway of the yarn that I wanted to use. This lovely caked up hot pink. I love it. This is from Yarn Geek Fibers, and it is their Marie Curie colorway. And so, yeah, that's pretty much why I picked Marie Curie. But in researching like what I wanted to name my shawl, like, you know, she discovered radium, she discovered polonium. I think I'm saying that right. She's won Nobel Peace Prizes, not just once, but twice, and in 2 different subjects. Nobody's ever done that before. Take that. So I was like, well, I could do radium. Also in my research, I found out she coined the term radioactivity. That's cool. But the thing that impressed me the most, and I didn't know about this, I actually first heard about this when I was watching one of my favorite TV shows, which is Timeless, which I'm so sad that they canceled. But Timeless is about a historian who travels back in time to save history, because, you know, a bad guy's traveling back and he's going to change something that'll change history. All that stuff. But in one episode, she goes back in time to World War I and she meets Marie Curie. And basically what happened when the war broke out, she wanted to do something. Marie Curie, not the historian. Marie Curie wanted to do something to help. And with her whole radium and all that radioactivity and all that stuff, that helps with x-rays. So she helped develop this mobile unit that could travel to the different hospitals along the front and take x-rays of these wounded soldiers to help them. And like when they realized like this is really helping, they went ahead and they made a bunch of them. And then Marie and her daughter trained other women. Like, there were no men that did this. Women were trained on these x-ray machines, and then they would travel along the front to the different hospitals. And so these machines became known as Petite Curies. So I decided I'm going to name my shawl the Petite Curie shawl. And so what I wanted to do when I was doing designing it, swatching, all that stuff, writing out how, in theory, it should work. I wanted it to start at the wide end and then come to the small end. You know, because it's just better if you start big and then by the end you're flying through the rows, you know? But I also want to make sure I use the max amount of this and the max amount of my cello, my Malabrigo cello, which is this lovely stuff. The speckles on this are amazing. So I was like, well, it's gonna have to go from the small end up. Just gonna have to. So as far as like the colorway and the shape of it, I was kind of inspired by another shawl pattern I saw on Ravelry. It's called the Colorblock Shawl. I'll put a link down below. You can kind of see why it inspired me. But my stitches are definitely different from hers, just so you know. And of course I'm doing different textures and stuff with this for all of them. But this Malabrigo yarn is amazing. All these, like there's every color in this thing. And every stitch is a different color when I work with this. So I'm doing a textured pattern, of course. But here it is. Ta-da! Let me just tell you the trouble I've had with this. First of all, started with the wrong hook size. Like, I started with the hook size I thought would work, but you couldn't see the stitches, and you kind of need to see stitches, especially when you're doing a textured thing. And then also trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to mark? Because it's a 4-row pattern repeat. Okay, which row am I on? Which row am I doing? So anyway, you can just see the lovely textures on here. Ta-da! So it's going to be an asymmetrical shawl. I have the stitch markers at the bottom here to remind me, okay, this side is the flat side. And so the ones without the stitch markers, that's the increasing side. So yeah. I just want to get this done so I can wear it. I can't wait to wear it. And then to have this with it. I'm ready. I'm ready. So, this is a pattern in progress, a make in progress, all that fun stuff. And as far as my other pattern, I have 7 testers. I only wanted 5, but like, I got so many. I even had to turn people away, like, well, I've got plenty, but I will be contacting you when this one's ready, okay? If you want to do it. So anyway, as far as persuasion goes, went out to testers. I have 2 of them done. I will put pictures at the end so you can see what they've done with my pattern, which that's just blows my mind. See other people doing stuff, my stuff, you know? Anyway, but like, I've been getting notes back from them, and I'm tempted to be upset, you know, like, oh, why would you say that about my pattern? But how else am I gonna learn, right? So, yes, my feelings are still kind of hurt, just because I'm a sensitive person like that, but I need to know this stuff, so I can have like more professional pattern. So, anyway, with that, there's nothing much else. My to-be section, I have nothing. I didn't buy any yarn, because, you know, husband not really making money. Budgetary reasons, just, yeah. And still got ideas brewing in my head for other shawls. Never heard back from that other that indie dyer. So anyway, it's okay. I've got stuff to work on. Yep, that's about it. So I will see you in a couple weeks, and it'll be closer to the end of tax season. Oh, I did want to mention. So a couple people have been talking about YarnCon, which is a yarn convention. It's the first week of April, which is tax season. So, yeah, I have never been able to go. But this year, my boss has actually closed our office for April 6th because his wife wanted to do something in Chicago. I don't care. I get a day off. And I'm tempted to go, but then also I'm like, I would just rather just stay at home and chill. Like, just have a day off. So I still don't think I'm gonna go to YarnCon. But in August is Stitches Midwest, and I've already been asked if I'm going, and I will be going to Stitches Midwest for sure. And I heard about a new fiber festival. Well, it's not new, but it's new to me. It's the Michigan Wool and Sheep, or I forget. There'll be a link down below. It's actually near where my parents live, so hey, Mom and Dad, I will come visit you, and we can go to the yarn festival. It's close to my birthday, so that could be my birthday present. Yeah? Okay. Anyway, I'll see you in a couple weeks. Have fun with your crafting. Have fun with your yarn. Yeah. I never know how to end these things, so I'm just going to say bye. Hi friends, it's a new day. It's actually Sunday morning. We got a little bit of sunlight coming in. It's actually St. Patrick's Day. Wearing my painted moss cowl. There's been something I've been wanting to say for a while, and I kind of wanted to have it separate from my podcast, although this will be attached to the podcast. And I just wanted you to know that, like, because I haven't said anything, I didn't want you to take my silence to mean anything other than, like, I was processing everything. I wasn't ignoring it. I wasn't being oblivious. I was aware. I'm just processing. And when my emotions are involved, I have a hard time with words. I mean, you just watched my podcast where I said and right a lot. I notice it. I do. And my husband is the pastor. He's the one that has a way with words. I don't really. Anyway, so at the beginning of the year, there was a lot of discussion going along in the yarning community about people of color and inclusion and exclusion, and, you know, and it's something that needed to be done. I agree. My heart's like pounding. But yeah, you know, we need to watch more people of color, you know, watch their podcasts, support their yarn dyeing businesses, buy their patterns. Yes, we do. But then here I am, white woman, starting my own podcast. Watch me. I'm designing my own patterns. Buy my stuff. Awkward, right? See, there I go again. But, and it's not that any of you made me feel awkward. You didn't. It's just how I felt. And, like, I didn't want you to feel like I was being silent because of certain reasons. It's just because I didn't want to offend anybody, hurt anybody's feelings. And then you have the stuff that happened, like, in these last couple weeks with politics and the justice system, which I really don't want to get into that. And then the whole college bribery scandal. Like, white privilege is a thing. I get that. I know. I mean, I just talked about in my podcast about how my dad can research our family's history. Like, we can go back generations and generations. I've had friends that I watch on podcasts who say that they can't because of slavery and the poor records that were kept. They can't find their families. And that bothers me a lot. And then you have this whole thing with New Zealand. And my heart hurts. And our world is broken. So it's not because, my silence isn't because of anything, it's because of this. Yeah, so before I cry all my makeup off, before I go to church, I just want to say, love your neighbor. And who's your neighbor? All of us. So with that, I knew this would happen. Just know that I love you. And if you're hurting, I have 2 good ears I can listen. God bless and bye.